can't believe I'm just now getting to this. Anyway, greetings everyone, this is Potato Hedgehog, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. This seems very innocent. I'm sure nothing could go wrong here. Anywho, I know nothing about this game except that it got really popular all of a sudden. So I thought, why not join the bandwagon, since my channel was basically anime incarnate. Anywho, let's begin. Please enter your name. Well, it's obviously going to be the best name ever. Potato. Obviously. Hey? I see an annoying girl running toward me in the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention that she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori? My neighbor and good friend since we were children. Then why the fuck would you call her annoying? Oh wait, this is me. Why the fuck would I call her annoying? You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it kinda works because you've known each other for so long. I unfortunately have not made that many friends. I'm a goddamn loser. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me.
I overslept again! But I caught you this time!
Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you.
You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Potato.
Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or anything.
Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to.
Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Potato, have you decided on a club to join yet?
A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either.
Eh? That's not true! You told me you would join a club this year!
Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content on just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. Hey, this guy sounds like me! I'm too self-aware, aren't I?
Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't be able to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't keep me worried about you.
Don't make me keep worrying about you, dumbass. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though.
Will you at least promise me you'll try a little?
Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that.
Yay!
Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. And I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit. Even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. Cut! Whoosh! I meant to say cut flash. Whoosh! The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. This sounds too much like me. Oh my god. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. And I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club.
Hello?
Sayori? Sayori must have come inside the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed.
You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club.
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know...
No what?
Well, that you could come to my club.
Sayori,
Yeah?
there is no way I'm going to your club.
Meanie.
Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Roll credits. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure that she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club.
Come on, please.
Why do you care so much anyway?
Well... I kinda told the club yesterday that I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything.
Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay?
Yes! Let's go!
Star Wars transition. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Cupcakes are good. I would do the same thing. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member is here!
I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? I glance around the room.
Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Potato. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club.
All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think that she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. God damn it!
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back to the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
So she's basically the Ikaruga of the group? Gotcha.
Don't say things like that.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Potato.
Monika smiles sweetly. Look at the kawaii-ness! Too kawaii for me. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika.
Come sit down, Potato. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made him. I'll get him. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa!
Natsuki lifts Natsuki lifts the foil off of the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Anime tropes! The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow.
It's delicious!
Sayori talks with her mouth full and already has managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around on my fingers looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki.
Why are you thanking me? It's not like I...
Tsundere alert, anyone? Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
made them for you or anything.
Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said...
Well, maybe. But not for you, dummy.
Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea always help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know...
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow and then smiles at me.
So, what made you consider the literature club?
I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori really seemed happy here, so...
That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
Excuse me. Monika? I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year?
Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and the publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd rather much take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika is really a great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised that there aren't more people in that club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that they're both fun and worthwhile. But to make school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Star Wars transition, anyone? Or... Oh. Oh, shit. Frames dropping like crazy. Like, you can't see it right now, but Bandicam is dipping into 5s. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah! We'll do our best.
You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these 3. Maybe that's why they were so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature.
So, Potato, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I really don't have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me just as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you? I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I can't really put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh! I hate horror! Oh? Why is that? Well,
Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second.
Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And get that back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems... Everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders.
I am not cute!
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No!
Natsuki averts her eyes. Fucking tsundere!
You wouldn't like them.
Not a very confident writer yet?
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing them even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri.
Aww, I wanted to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment.
Okay. I have an idea, everyone.
Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah! Let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Potato?
Monika smiles warmly at me again. Hold on. There's still one problem.
Huh? What's that?
Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forward with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have the other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Do not make anime girls sad! You do not know what could happen! I've learned that lesson a few times.
But... I'm sorry. I thought... Potato.
You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful women... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Yes! I'm so happy!
Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Yeah! Bear hug! Not approved! Hey!
You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official! Welcome to the literature club!
Thanks, I guess?
Okay, everyone! I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment! Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share.
Monika looks over at me once more.
Potato, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Dude, I know how you feel. Even though this is kind of meta. I'm playing as myself in a visual novel. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Potato, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
Star Wars transition! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of the girls. Alright! I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. My poetry is horrible! It's time to write a poem. Those figures are jumping down there. Pick words you think that your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Yuri is definitely my favorite of the four girls, so... She mentioned that she likes horror. And something else. Fantasy. Horror and fantasy. Yay. Journey. Fantasy. What the fuck? Why are you jumping? Why is everyone jumping? I don't know what to pick because this is kind of weird. Pain. Why are you jumping? Infallible. Yay, she jumped. Ambient. Yay, she jumped again. Massacre. Yuri jumped again. Yay. Eternity. Yay! Let's see here. Unstable. Yay! I'm doing this correctly! Awesome! Landscape. Yay!
What you playing, Potato?
I am playing Doki Doki Literature Club, Moshi.
That game is not what it seems. Good luck. And by the way, who's your favorite of the four?
Yuri.
I wouldn't get attached to her.
Ah! Stop jumping! I want Yuri to jump. Determination. Undertale! I don't know. I'm not playing that game. Don't ask. Horror. Yay! Disaster. Yay! Universe. Yay! Let's see. Whisper. Damn it. Disown. Yay! Grief. Boo. Misfortune. Damn it. I know Yuri jumped the most, so I'm probably going to get her first. Disoriented. Yay!
Hi again, Potato.
Hello, Monica.
Glad to see you didn't run away on us.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Potato. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not even accustomed to it? Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack! Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too! I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. God damn it! This is funny. I don't know why, but this is funny.
Don't worry, guys. Potato always gives it his best as long as he's having fun.
Yeah, that can be said about Sonic Forces, which I played before doing this.
He always helps me with busy work without even me asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable.
Sayori, that's because your room is so messy that it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. How the fuck does that happen?!
Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might just be a little jealous. How come? You and Potato can become good friends too.
Sayori!
Hmm?
As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation that she just put me into. I'm not complaining!
Oh! Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait! Sayori!
Me?
Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind! Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read.
Game is lagging. Oh, God. According to Bandicam, the game is running at 4 and 5 frames a second now. This is not good. Ah! At least we're getting a shot of Yuri. That's cool. Or Yuri. I don't know how to fuck to pronounce Japanese names, so I apologize. I apologize in advance. Yuri, are you supposed to... Okay, what the fuck? Skipping ahead a bit.
And we could, discuss it if you wanted.
This is... What is it, man? What is it? Ah! Shit! I clicked ahead too quick. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you! I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. I don't know why, but I like Yuri the most out of the 4 girls. But at the same time, I would also feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap! I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. You're reminding me of Murakumo. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing that I had made her uncomfortable.
Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book you gave me, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason.
Just curious. How come you have 2 copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant! I just happened to buy 2 of them.
Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's it about, anyway?
Well,
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggled all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Potato?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their philosophy that they believe in. And then suddenly, when you thought that you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like that I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It is a literature club after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to!
What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah,
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something that I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It's like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry! I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Get it, man! Well, get it, me! It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Huh. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the other side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Huh?
To turn the page?
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right?
I
don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I just turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over her side as she catches it on her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.
Yuri remains silent for a moment.
But, Potato, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Ugh, it's so embarrassing that you think that.
Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry. I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone! Sudden Monica. Okay.
I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait for too long.
Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read it a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now everyone's ready. Why don't you just find someone to share with? I can't wait!
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Excuse me. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers on a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Obviously! Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
Huh? What was that?
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's gonna hate me?
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
Yuri takes a breath. Blech.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow. That's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are atypical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick it up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her trail of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might even take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club?
Ghost under the light! The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickens. I flicken back.
Well, flicker. That's what I meant. Ah! My brain kind of fizzled out because of that British accent. I apologize.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Did she actually tell that I took a while to read that? I just wanted to get into character. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Potato.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you only did glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive.
Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best. For you, Potato.
Me too. Star Wars transition! Who should I show my poem to next? I don't know, because I don't really give a shit about anyone else. Monica!
Hey, Potato. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, Want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Potato. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. But before we continue, actually gonna save this shit. Boop! There we go. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this first episode of Doki Doki Literature Club, I apologize if it's a really long episode, then please leave a like and a comment to let me know, and I will see you guys in the next part. Adios!